A lot of eating, consistent eating. That was it right there.
How different do you maybe feel at that weight or with everything you did over the summer to get ready for camp and the way you're looking physically now? How does that feel? I mean,
I feel every pound of it in the blocking game. I feel every pound of it in the blocking game. I'm able to, I feel that weight behind me. It's more support. I can run my feet and create movement off the line a lot better with this weight. I also feel it in the route game too. I feel every pound towards the end of practice. I feel every pound of that I've gained. So it's been good though, and I'm excited just to keep getting used to this weight and just get comfortable in it and just keep playing well.
What's it like to transform your body? What kind of challenge is it? There's no people who go through their whole lives and don't touch that what you've done.
Right. You just gotta, although you have to physically prepare. I mean, obviously it's a physical preparation to obviously get bigger and stronger. But we have so many people on staff that help you do that. I got a great nutritionist. She helps me get the food I need. Coach Mick is just getting me right in the weight room. Me personally, where the focus would be as an athlete, change of positions would be everything mentally. To go from playing receiver to where you're getting you're catching balls in the perimeter to now I have a guy right lined up in front of me that's 270 pounds and I'm gonna go full speed. I'm gonna stick my face on him, and that's just a different mindset. And I've fully embraced it. I'm getting to the point now where I'm loving it, and this is exactly where I want to be.
What is it going to take you to get used to running routes while also having your hands probably everywhere?
Right. It's a never-ending process. I'm still getting used to it right now. It's a process, and this position that we're playing it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? It's a journey. There's a lot of jobs that you got to be able to do, a lot of tasks that you have to be able to get done, and it's not something that you develop overnight. And so I'm still working on it right now, and it's going good.
So you feel every pound
Yeah.
where
In my whole body when it comes to running routes and everything. But like I said, throughout this offseason, the coaches have done a really good job of just getting me acclimated to this weight and being able to get a lot of running in. So now that we come out on the practice field, I feel acclimated and I feel good. So it's just a matter of just continuing to get used to the weight.
you feel slower?
No, I don't feel slower. It's just more, you know, I'll go to explode on a play, like I'll explode on a release to do something that I used to do at 200 pounds, and it doesn't really feel as explosive. So I wouldn't say I feel slower, but that's kind of just where I notice it.
What is your weight?
240 pounds. Yeah, 240, 241. I played last year. I got here at about 210. I played last season on my first year at tight end at 220.
Where would you say you are in the transition to tight end? I mean, are you fully comfortable? Are you still getting there?
I'm still getting there. Like I said earlier, this position is not something that you jump. I'm growing to learn this. It's not something that you jump over and learn. And I'm ready to play tight end, and the next day you're great. And that's not that you got to completely erase that mindset if you want to go into this position. There's so many jobs. I have to be a right tackle, and I also have to be a wide receiver running against these small fast DBs, and I got to be big enough to block these big DNs. So it's a lot of jobs that you got to be able to do, and it's something that's you got to be ready to be in for the long haul. This is a position that I probably won't be my best until 5, 6, 7 years from now. When I'm 3 years in the NFL or 3, 4 years in the NFL, it's not going to be an overnight thing. So the biggest thing is that I know I'm mentally prepared for that. So that's what's important.
Welcome to tight end moment. You're going against 270-pound people now. Do you feel like have a moment
Uh,
at the position?
yeah, I think when I kind of first moved over last year is when I started feeling that. When I first got over there and I'm blocking these big guys, the coaches are obviously taking care of me. They wouldn't have me go on these bigger blocks when I was 215 pounds. But now that I'm a lot bigger, I feel like I take on all the blocks pretty well. I mean, George Kittle plays at 242, and he gets the job done. I'm playing at 240 right now, and I feel great. So um, I think when I first got over, it was a little challenging, but nowadays I feel pretty good with the blocks.
Have you ever had any second thoughts about this move to tight end, or do you still fully embracing it?
Yeah, I'd say there is doubts. There's been doubts, especially in the beginning. Moving over, it's like, man, what have I done? I kind of like, I went for my roots. I've been a receiver my whole life, and I kind of jumped away from that. And all that was is just doubt in the back of my mind. Questioning. Am I good enough to be able to do this transition? But just like anything else, I mean, football is so relatable to life. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be things that you're going to try to do in this world, and there's going to be doubts and there's going to be negativity, and there's going to be discouragement that's going to try to play a part in your life. And as a man and as a person in society, I think it's just my job just to be able to manage putting one foot in front of the other, and not look at the end goal, because the end goal is me being an NFL veteran that's been in the NFL for 6, 7 years and is a great player. when I look at that to where I'm at right now, it's like this big mountain that I have to climb. But if you look at the greatest mountain climbers in the world, their job, they don't climb the mountain in one step. They don't look to the top. Their job is to, let me just place this one foot here and this place this next foot here. And that's what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Today I just practiced today. I just placed another foot. And tomorrow I'll come out, I'll place another foot. And so before you know it, I'll be at the top of the mountain. It's just a matter of being consistent.
You're one of a bunch of veteran tight ends in that room. What do you feel like your role will be?
A lot of things. That's the biggest thing about tight end that I've learned. The more you can do, the more you'll play. So the more you can run the route, the more you can make that cutoff block, the more you can come across the line of scrimmage and influence and the more you can do different kind of things is the more that you'll be able to play. The more one-sided you are, so which I was last year. I was a 220 guy. When I'm in the game, they dang near counted me as a receiver, So when they kind of just figured that it was going to be a route being ran, and it's not very realistic. So I wouldn't. My goal as a tight end is to not have a role. I can do everything. It's like that running back that he's just your speed back and he plays on speed downs, but or your third down back. But I want to be the guy that's at every down. So. Yep. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. He brings it every day consistently. He brings it every day, and it's not a fake show. He's one thing I learned about toughness. That's one of our biggest things that we preach here is about toughness. How tough can you be? And it's not tough every time ramming your face into somebody. Sometimes it's toughness. Am I disciplined to go to bed on time? Am I going to be one of the first guys here? That's toughness. Am I going to be able? Am I going to eat consistently on the meals? That's toughness. This is all the things that go into it. That I feel like the media and like the outside world sees literally 1% of what really goes on. There's a million things that are behind the cameras, and that's where the real toughness is. And then when you get on there on game day, you can just let it show. So I think he does a good job of that. He does a good job of doing the little things right. He brings a tough, consistent attitude every day, and it's a good thing to the unit.
You've mentioned the NFL a couple times. How confident do you feel that you're on that trajectory of what you're doing at tight end and playing in the NFL?
How do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I feel good, and it's a matter of just understanding that it's going to take time, and just keep going, and just get rid of discouragement, because discouragement's always going to try to come into your ear. Like I said earlier, just like anybody else in this, anything you want to try in this world new, discouragement's going to come in, and it's just your job is to stay consistent, and like I said, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and keep putting together good days.
Have you realized since getting here that maybe that process is going to take a little bit longer than maybe you thought when you got here as a freshman?
Yeah. Which is okay. I'm a person that I'm growing to really feel this way. When I first got here, it was I wanted to be the G. Scott show. That's how I felt. That was where my heart was at. But man, when you've been here, I'm going into my third year now, and you really get to. And this isn't no corny stuff. This is really when you get to spend time with these guys, and you really get to be around the team a lot. It's really you start to form a brotherhood, and then your mind starts switching from selfishness to almost where can I benefit the team. And so if that takes me, if I'm a 3-year guy and this is my last year and I'm out, great. If I'm a 5-year guy, it is what it is. My goal is I want to win national championships, and I want to be a great component to the team and do the job that I need to do.
It's a little late getting over. You might have already talked about this, but can you get into your YouTube channel and why you started doing that? You're very good at it, so I'm sure that's a reason.
Right.
And just get into all that and just
Yeah.
how fun you're having with it and how that started.
There's so many reasons why I started it. One of the biggest reasons was kind of changing the narrative of what a football player, quote unquote, is. I think sometimes people get confused. I think people think that a football player is a guy that shuts up and puts his hand in the ground, and they don't really think bigger than football. Football is all they are, and I just wanted to show that I can do things in the community. I can, I'm social just like everybody else. I have friends. So that's kind of like where I was kind of coming from initially, and then. Another big thing was I just want to make a difference in the community. That's kind of was my thing, and just kind of show, maybe just influence the younger generation. Because I know when I was younger, I looked up to people like me. So being able to put out videos that may be inspirational to that 6th grader out there, that make them want to be like, I want to be the G. Scotts of the world one day, and encourage to do great things. That's kind of where I came from, because I definitely had a lot of role models when I was younger like that.
Gee, I remember talking to your dad about you a year ago and stuff. It's almost like they need to come up with another name for the you get pigeonholed, tight end, wide receiver, slot guy.
Yeah.
You almost need to come up with another name for kind of like the player you are, correct?
Yeah.
You
Well,
feel that way sometimes?
no, I don't feel that way. To be honest, I feel like I'm here to be a tight end. You know, I think that transition, I know what you're talking about. That transition from a receiver to tight end, it kind of gets a gray in there. But that's not where I want to live. You know what I'm saying? I'm living to be a tight end. You know, I'm here to. I don't know how many of you guys have seen the Kanye West documentary. When everyone would call him a producer, he said, Kanye, you're a great producer, man. You're such a good producer. And Kanye said, no, I want to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rapper. I want to be the greatest rapper ever. And so that's where I feel like I don't want to be. I'm not a receiver that plays tight end. I'm a tight end that plays tight end, and I want to be a great tight end. You know, so that's where I live.
Last question for Jake.
The thing I took from it was that defense looks really good. That's one thing I took from it. Me personally, one thing I took is just, you know, the importance of just learning to keep playing fast. That's one of the biggest things that you can do, especially at the tight end position, is just being able to play fast and create momentum and make movement off the ball. You know what I'm saying? When you got a defensive lineman in front of you, do the best you can to, you know, someone's kicking somebody's ass. And am I kicking his ass or is he kicking mine? And then when I'm running a route on somebody, he's probably a little faster than me. He's 180 pounds, so finding a way to kick his ass too. Excuse my language.
Was there somebody, a couple people who really stood out?
As players, that whole defense, that whole defense looked really good. I'm excited for them.
Do they look happy, excited? I mean, what do you take from that? You know what I mean? Because last year, a lot was written about them
The
in a negative sense.
the defense, yeah.
What do you sense about them right now from a happiness standpoint?
They look energetic. They look energetic as all be. They look. They're consistent too. They're consistent. They're coming out with a great attitude every day at practice, and they're giving us great looks. You know what I'm saying? They're giving us great looks, and I'm excited to see them actually in action. And they're making it's like two things. Every single part of it is great. Is that one, they're playing great, so I can't wait to see them, you know, playing against another team. And two, we're getting so much better playing against them, and so I just can't wait till we got somebody else on the other side and I can, you know, let this out on somebody else.
Saw that you and Travion just flipped the house. How did you get into real estate?
So really through networking, just kind of just meeting the right people, and you kind of mix that with some NIL, and then fortunately enough, I was able to get around the right people, and Travion was kind of on the same page as me, and we just wanted to get together and, you know, create generational wealth. It's kind of the same thing I said about the YouTube channel, you know. This football thing, I'm be playing football for, who knows, maybe another decade, God willing. But if not, you know, I want to be able to make a lot of more influence outside of, you know, football. Hopefully one day when it's all said and done, football is the least that I do.
Did you bust any sinks? Bust any cabinets? Did y'all
Me personally, I didn't touch it at all. You know, there's a lot of people that are out there working on it, and shout out to them.
You get the fun part,
Jake,
right?
thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, guys.